Good Saturday morning. Good Saturday morning. Um, Listen, if you made it up and you are awake and watching this, I want you to say thank you. Thank you because you were blessed to wake up and to rise to see another day. So I'm first send shouts out to Mickey.
Good morning.
How you doing, Mickey?
Oh, I can't complain. Happy to be on this side.
Listen, me too. Me too. Me too. Now today, Mickey, this is going to be the real shortest show I ever did. I know I've said that before, but for real though, today, for real, for real.
Yes, ma'am.
So today, and it will be, and it's not short because there isn't content. Everyone, it's short because today my family will lay to rest two family relatives, and there are two funerals that I do have to attend, um, and it's never easy. And it seems like things happen. If you are here, love your family, love your friends. Don't stay stuck in the mess and the garbage. If you were wrong or they wronged you, hey, apologize. If it's anybody that, hey, I wronged, let me be the first to say, I'm sorry. Charge it to my mind, not my heart. It is never my heart to intentionally to hurt someone. I promise you that. My goal is always to work for the residents and for the good of the people and to be able to bring people together. That doesn't change. My views are, let me be clear, the views of Tonya Burns, and that's it. Only person who knows what I'm going to do on my show beforehand is Mickey. And Mickey will get text, inbox, emails up to about 6 a.m. the day before. No one asks me to do anything. No one says, Tanya, do this. They're all my views. Some may be controversial, some may not agree, but I always put up what I can own and what I can defend. Period. Period. That doesn't change. So if you are on here, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe, and hey, donate. $ 810 News Media Group. And I think we have that. Mickey, you can keep that
Yeah.
scroll up. Look, scroll. I can't even talk, Mickey.
Scroll.
When
Yeah, I
I
got
go to bed at 9:30.
it. For sure, I got it up.
I ain't went to bed at 9:30 since I was probably like in elementary. But the girl was tired.
Right.
So click like, share, subscribe, and then donate. This is an independent news media outlet, and help us keep the lights on. So click like, share, subscribe, and then donate at $ 810 News Media Group on your Cash App. All right. So listen, Mickey,
Yes, ma'am.
that special meeting, the special meeting, you was late. I just want to say that again, Mickey. You was late.
Yeah, I was late, but it was over.
It was over, wasn't it? It was over. It was over. So it was so quick. It was ridiculous. Winters was there to cover for you. It was good seeing Winters there covering the show. It was lickety split. It was so quick. The people stayed behind to still try to absorb what had happened. So let's put up the special meeting. And so I'm going to talk on the side. So the special meeting was called with myself, and I asked Dennis Councilman Pfeiffer to please sign on to it. Why? According to the Flint City Charter, we are supposed to have an election. She is appointed. The seat was vacated. We knew that it'd be vacated in July of last year. Candace Mashat for Ward 7 and was appointed to that seat. That seat within 90 days, we were supposed to have a special election. The election should have been held in February, which would be next month. That would have been the primary, and then her general should have been held in May 7th. That did not happen. I talked to Attorney Kim. I talked to the city clerk. There's some issues in between. Talk to the county clerk. Talk to the state of Michigan. You name it. So well, let's give us some opportunity because you have to give time to print the ballots. I personally know it don't take that long to print the ballots because I had sued the county clerk, not Dominique Clemens, but prior, because there were some issues. And they printed them ballots up in like 45 days. But Dominique is our county clerk, Clemens. And so he said, hey, my deadline is the 15th. Now I believe it's the 23rd that he would like to have everything done. So let's give us some time. So I said, let's put it on 15 minutes prior to our finance meeting. Let's have a special meeting, one item, nothing else, no other business. Boom, bang, in, out. Listen, y'all, they didn't show up. Only Liddell Lewis showed up. Judy Priestley, 4th Ward, you had no representation. 3rd Ward, Quincy Murphy, you had no representation. Now, he dragged his stuff in there, looked like he was on his deathbed before to make sure he voted to put that $40 million in the general fund. You had 7th Ward with the appointed person, Candace Machat, no representation. 9th Ward, no representation. So what happened after that? So 4:45, I was standing over there right before the meeting talking to our city clerk when Liddell Lewis literally, she was like this. And me and Davina's conversation. And I said, would you like to know what, you want to know what we're talking about? Yeah, I want to know. She has a very aggressive tone and demeanor. So she gets up out her seat, but she should have been calling the meeting to order. And I asked her, I said, why are you calling this meeting to order? You're not giving people the opportunity to be here. Because I'm going to call a meeting to order. I said, but your favorite term is at ease. Call it to order and at ease. Are you going to put it at ease? No. I said, well, why not? The meeting is supposed to be at 4:45. I said, you don't have a quorum. You can't allow them to come here. The meeting's at 4:45. So she kept going like in a Forrest Gump type of thing. It's at 4:45. It's at 4:45. And then she proceeded to go back to her seat. Okay, so here's my problem. You have a vice president, which her seat is up. It is her appointed seat should be elected. We have a responsibility per the Flint City Charter to make sure we have someone elected in that seat. Mickey, let's go up to the charter part. So we're going to go out of sequence. And so it's going to be the charter part. I think, is it? I got to look and see which page. And I apologize for anyone if
I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it. Hold on, let me blow it up. I'll put it up. It's page 2. This one right here.
Yep. Special elections. Yep. Okay, and let me turn it to the side because I can't read it on there. Okay, vacancy section 2-410. Vacancy in the office of council member. We had a vacancy. Allie Herkenroder vacated that seat. So it says, whenever a vacancy occurs on the Flint City Council, the remainder of the unexpired term shall be filled as follows. If 18 months or less remains in an unexpired term, the city council shall within 30 days appoint a person having the same qualifications for such office to fill the remainder of the term. B, if more than 18 months remain an unexpired term, the city council shall within 30 days appoint a person for the same qualifications. Is it a second part to that?
Yep, hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me move it up. No, that's...
Okay, number 2. 3. I think we're on 3. Hold on.
It's a part B.
Part B. Listen, I'm about to give up on the part of when you have nails. I'm going to tell y'all, nails is, a lot of work. You can't button. You can't do stuff like you really need to. Okay, and I got to flip this around because I can't read that. So part B, on number B2, we are to schedule a primary election as soon as possible to be followed by a special election to fill the balance of the unexpired term. So that's what we're supposed to be doing. And so what they're not doing is scheduling a special election. That should have been scheduled, and this is per the Flint City Charter. So that special meeting is in accordance with the Flint City Charter. This is law. This is what they're supposed to be doing. So how hard are they working at those 5 votes? Very hard. To where, in my opinion, they're still in an election. And in my opinion, I believe there's a subcode section in the Michigan law that if anyone is preventing this, that it is a misdemeanor. So, and I haven't had time to get into that part. So, what did we all take when you, even if you were appointed or elected, we take an oath of office. Can you put the oath of office, Mickey? That special meeting is, we take an oath of office. We have a responsibility to uphold.
I got it. Hold on. Let me blow it up. There it goes up.
Okay, so the oath of office, which is section 1-601. Every elected officer and every appointee before entering in official duties shall take shall take and subscribe the following with: I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city council or according to the best of my ability, provided in 1963 Constitution, and then it goes on. So we have a responsibility to do our job. We had 4 people who at this last council meeting didn't do the job. They left. They didn't even show up. Judy is the finance chair. She didn't show up to even call her meeting to order. She didn't come. The vice president of Flint City Council didn't come. Why? We had that special meeting on. They are trying to avoid this special meeting to where, though none of them came, 4 council members did not uphold the oath to do their job. They didn't come. They didn't show up. So what happened on, let's put up, Mickey, the yellow, on December 18th, 20th, and January 3rd.
I got you. 1 second. You said, this one right here. Hold on. I'm talking about this one, right?
Yeah, and if you
the
other one.
Hold on, let me go back and find it. Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and find it. I'll find it real quick. You said the yellow one.
It's the same color. It just says on December 18th.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I'm just blowing it up. I got it. There you go.
So here's one of the issues. That's it. Thank you very much, sir. So on December 18th, December 20th, and January 3rd, which is special meeting and finance meeting, they didn't even call it to order. There was no quorum. They didn't show up because they didn't want to vote on the fact that we have a responsibility per the Flint City Charter to pass a resolution so that the entire 7th Ward, can have that seat put up for an election. They didn't even show up. So why is that important? And what are some of the issues? You're disenfranchising the voters and the candidates. By them not showing up, they are trying to force 7th Ward to keep Candace Mushat. And she's not showing up. And that's just a terrible, terrible look. The person who wants to stay in that seat isn't showing up and voting on it herself. Because when you're doing a good job, or you feel you are, put yourself before the voters. Put yourself before the voters. She hasn't shown up. 4 people did not show up. 4. So on December, let's put that back up, Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
So December 18th, terrible. I still haven't processed that meeting yet. They left, broke quorum. Liddell Lewis said she was going to get her money. And we have to keep in mind, the president of the Flint City Council has a resolution because she is affiliated with, started the Sarvis Park. They send up a resolution to get $50,000. She did. Candace Mushat, the director of the Flint Development Center, $300,000. The vice president. So they got to keep them 5 votes by hook or crook. Hook or crook, they got to keep them. And I put up everything. This is facts. This is not hearsay. I put up the resolution. I put up the articles of incorporation. So they broke in quorum repeatedly, failed to call city council to order, is not to vote on a resolution approving the 7th Ward vacant seat that should be on the ballot. They've walked away and left an entire agenda. We are still working on the agenda from December 18th. Liddell Lewis and Candace Mushat are terrible leaders, terrible leadership. We should not be working on an agenda, number one, from December the 18th, because they left, they broke quorum, they went home, they didn't show up, just ain't doing nothing. Broke quorum, went home, didn't show up. Meeting after meeting, December 18th, December 20th, January the 3rd. The business is not being done because of Liddell Lewis and Candace Mushat, the president and the vice president. Now, why would the vice president of Flint City Council want to keep that seat or get in that seat when she can't show up to do the business? You got to do the work. You got to knock them doors. You got to talk to them folks. You don't just hand over a seat like that's not how that's done. The vice president who wants that seat is not showing up to vote, to call the meetings to order. She's breaking quorum. She's walking out. She has a responsibility, an oath of office. But when you got $300,000 on the line and your bestie, Liddell Lewis, got $50,000 on the line, you ain't going to show up. Y'all need to click like and share and tell people, because this is criminal. This is criminal. They taking this seat to not have an election for the 7th Ward. She ain't showing up to do no work. Why would you vote somebody in who won't show up to do the work? When someone is breaking quorum, when someone won't do what the charter, she's supposed to uphold the charter, the Constitution. She's not doing either one, in my opinion. So, Mickey, there's one other yellow one that I think I sent to you. Because you can't make this up. So what happens to the special meeting that no one showed up for? It goes on to Monday's meeting. What do we predict that they're going to do? Probably not show up. It's a voting, and that'll be the 4th meeting that they won't be voting to put this on the ballot. But guess what we're going to have to do? Get an attorney, file an injunctive order. It's going to be a terrible look. And that's already in the process.
This one right here?
That part. So May 7th, we're having a special election because, one, there are some recalls. May 7th, we know that the 9th Ward seat, the voters in the 9th Ward have filled out enough signatures to recall Eva Worthing. So Ward 9 candidates, if you want to run in Ward 9, you can pick up, interested candidates can pick up packets at the Flint City Clerk's office beginning on Monday. You can pick them up beginning on Monday. So if you are interested in running in the 9th Ward, you can pick up packets to run for that seat on Monday. Ward 7, the special meeting resolution will go to Flint City Council. It should go to council on Monday to be voted on. If they don't vote on it, because here's the thing, people say, what if they never vote on it? Well, this will be the 4th time that they have managed to escape this. Well, guess what happens? You have to get an attorney and sue them. We're going to have to force the people who were the president and the vice president and the finance chair. Because Judy, I'm not leaving you out of this because you're going along with the nonsense. You just as bad as what they doing. So Liddell Lewis, Judy Priestley, Candace Mushat, people will have to sue, and 7th Ward people. The residents said, we suing you. And they got the people to sue. They're going to sue you if this is not put on the ballot. That's going to happen. How bad is that going to look for Candace Mushat to run, and they had to sue her as the vice president to get on the ballot? She didn't show up. She's adjourned. She's walked out of meetings. She's broken quorum. Is that what 7th Ward wants? Now, they can't say they blamed it on Mays. They didn't kick Mays out for 90 days. He wasn't even at the meeting. He was not even at the meeting on Wednesday. He's out for 90 days. They can't blame this on Councilman Mays. He wasn't there. He can't take his seat. He can't take his seat. He has to have his, goes to court. I believe it goes to court for January the 11th. So they can't blame this on him. They didn't show up because that resolution has to be passed. But there are 7th Ward residents who've already, I believe, retained it. Not believe, I know they've retained an attorney. So if they don't sign it, they're going to file an injunctive order and they're going to sue. That's going to be a terrible look for the vice president. And that seat will more than likely not be retained, because it's not going to be easy when you're telling people, hey, she didn't show up. The vice president broke quorum, didn't show up. They didn't call the city council meeting. They did not call the last city council meeting to order on December 18th. The vice president and president went home. They never called the meeting to order. Liddell and Candace and Judy went home. They went home. They didn't handle the business. They went home. Why? Because they felt they didn't have their fifth vote because Quincy had left. They went home and said, screw the business. It don't matter. And went home. So put up the chess one next, Mickey.
Got you. Hold on 1 second. Got it.
So what people need to do is pay attention. When they're leaving, breaking quorum, not showing up, making sure Quincy, who looked sick, he shouldn't have been there, y'all. I mean, he looked like he was in so much pain. You got to pay attention and know the difference. Now, those 5 votes, Mayor Neely owns 5 votes on that Flint City Council. He owns 5 votes. He is playing chess. You need to pay the difference. And it says you were playing chess while I was playing checkers. He is playing chess. He's playing chess. He owns those 5 votes. They do whatever he tells them to do. Those 5 council members are pushing Mayor Neely's agenda. They are. It's like without it, they don't even debate it. They just, yes, what he wants, yes. And what did Judy say? Tonya, you don't understand. I get it not only here, but at home and from other people. Well, if you can't stand up and be independent in your own voice, then you probably shouldn't be in that seat. Because nobody is right 24 hours a day. That just doesn't happen. So what I want people to pay attention to is sometimes things just click in your head. They're setting up all of these things, and you'll hear Liddell Lewis has stated, right now we're on blight. We're going to pass all these things under blight. You know what I forgot, y'all? Guess where the blight falls under, whose budget? It was moved in 2020 to the mayor's budget. So the mayor, he has his budget and he has the blight budget he controls. That had never been done before. So all that money going through blight is controlled by the mayor. How they're paying out a lot of this stuff, and you'll see, I think we had 1.something million. It was paid underneath blight. Why there's so much blight? Why? It comes underneath the mayor's budget. 2020, Mayor Neely sent up a resolution. I was not on the council, to move that over to where blight is now under the mayor's budget. So he has a lot more control. How did I find out? And what made it click? This past month has been a lot. I had some contractors asking me why. Some contractors asked me why. Hey, Dr. Petroni, how are you? Asked me, why are they having to meet with the mayor? I said, what do you mean? Well, when we're having to meet with Mayor Neely. Why is the mayor meeting with the contractors? And if it's something to do with blight and it falls underneath his budget? And that just wasn't culture. So you look at all these resolutions coming up under blight. Liddell Lewis has got under blight. She's got that 50,000 falls under blight. And what did she say? Oh, we're going to get our money. We're going to get our money. And then the vice president and the president and the finance chair went home. Mickey, I didn't see Dr. Petroni's question. Mickey, can you put that Councilman Burns question? But Councilman Burns, why does it require a vote by a council? Why can't the clerk just put it on? The clerk cannot put it on. It's just the way it is. She cannot put on. We are supposed to follow the Flint City Charter. Where it's breaking the charter. The clerk doesn't have the ability to put it on. So a judge has got to force it on. When I talked to Attorney Kim, which me and him, we kind of had a little, back and forth. He stated he would have to sue the county clerk to put it on. He would have to get an injunctive order. And so it gets into the state doesn't really want to get involved. Not really. State doesn't want to get involved. They want us to handle our own mess. It's basically what it is. And so Attorney Kim told the city clerk, that he wanted to have the election in August. No, you don't get to determine our election, Attorney Kemp. That's not your job, not your job. And he wanted to have her primary in August and then her general in November. Nope, nope, nope. As soon as possible, it's the May 7th. We have the recall election that will be then. And so that is our earliest election. So the city clerk cannot just put it on. It has to be done by a judge. Will have to we have to get an injunctive order, and a judge has got to say, hey, you know what, you're violating the Flint City Charter. This has to go on, because they're not going to show up to put it on. But it's going to look terrible as a candidate that Candace Mashat is running, and she's evading, or she's making sure she's not on that ballot. That's not going to fare well, and people are already talking about it. I don't even know if she can contain that damage, because people are talking about it. They are talking about it. So, and if you're listening in, click like, share, please. So Mickey, and this is literally gonna be my shortest show, y'all. So when we look at what happened, go to the one what was like 14 minutes where the meeting Liddell called it to order. Now listen, y'all. Metcalf, I've been told, Officer Metcalf has been relieved of his duty. He is no longer allowed to be in the Flint City Council chambers. He will not be the officer there. This last meeting, they knew they wasn't coming. Liddell Lewis got a ride by the Flint police. She has, I guess, a security, like somebody gonna get her. Nobody thinking about her. She need to stop that mess.
You talking about the one that was 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Gotcha.
The short one. And how she called, her attitude was terrible. It was terrible. So the meeting was less than 15 minutes. We had to force her to call the other ones to order. She lied and made up a new rule and said it is a rule that it is 5 minutes in between. There's no such thing as no 5 minutes in between calling one to order. It is such a power thing with her. A power thing with her. And they knew it wasn't going to be a meeting. Why? We didn't have but one officer. That one officer that went to Skip saying he was cute, that was downstairs with the metal detectors. He was the only officer, and he was kind of up and down. You know, he wasn't down there all the time. And by the way, y'all, listen, because I've asked him before, who told you to be here? He reports to the mayor. Chief Green, get your police department under order. Your command staff should be there, report to you, not to the mayor, to give them their orders. So start that. It went so lickety split. Start that meeting. Can you, Mickey, please?
You want me to just play the whole thing?
I'm gonna tell you where to stop, because it goes so. Listen, 15 minutes.
I got you. I'm finna push play now.
Did y'all hear May say he was present?
Present. Present. Mr. Piper. We have 4 members present. We have 4 members present. So therefore, the finance meeting will be adjourned from that point. Madam Chair, are you going to call our committee to order?
So you're gonna hear Dennis Pfeiffer. He was not holding back at all. It was just terrible. So by this time, the special meeting she's called and adjourned. The finance meeting she's called and adjourned. You have people in the audience. You have Juwan, and you have Mayor Weaver. You've got Rita Stanley, her sister. You've got you had quite a few people who normally don't come to council meetings. Jasmine Stanley, the guy in the hat, his name is Nick. Yeah, Bethany Hazard. You had people coming and going. And the meeting, this was
Nothing ain't going on. They don't have nobody up here.
yeah.
That's why they
Listen,
didn't want to put Tonya and Dennis off with Eric because they couldn't depend on nobody else to show up. They don't have no quorum. So she called the special meeting order. It wasn't a quorum. Liddell said she was giving people a 5-minute grace period.
so y'all, that is Winters talking, narrating.
They called the finance meeting order. It wasn't a quorum. So they're trying to get Liddell to call the other meetings to order, and she won't do it.
Yeah, it was just a mess. So Mickey, you
I took my coat off. Here we go.
Our legislative committee and our governmental ops board. There is no business on legislative, but we still are by our precedent that has been called for and adjourned along with our governmental operations to where there is one appointment to
The special meeting was about getting Candace on the ballot for May. Of course, they wasn't gonna show up for that. Liddell ain't paying them no attention. Who is the attorney? I don't know. They just take turns coming in.
Winters was right with that shade. Attorney Kim wasn't there. That's William Bosner, attorney.
No, she ain't gonna call the other meetings to order. No, she ain't.
the business was supposed to be at 5:00. It is now 5:09.
Liddell mad as hell. Dysfunction.
Excuse me.
Oh, now she wanna talk.
For audience response. No. This is time for audience response, sir.
Call the meeting to order, man.
Anybody can be at the program. You need to call a meeting to order. You need to call a meeting to order. Residents can speak at the program. This is not the way to do business.
Looking bad in front of residents for Flint people.
You always look bad. All right.
Okay, Mickey, you can cut it off.
It's now 5:10.
So getting her to call these meetings to order was terrible. The whole meeting was terrible. The whole day. She has had dumpster fire December 18th, December 20th, and then January the 3rd. She has walked out. Liddell Lewis has been walking out. Candace Wishad has been walking out, not showing up. They are not serious they are not taking care of the city's business. They're just not. They're not, and could care less. Could absolutely care less about taking care of the business. So when we talk about residents need to be there, Mickey, put up the letter, the disputed letter.
Let me find it.
So the letter went out to people. The letter went out to everyone that attended and left their information from the meeting that was a week ago, a little over a week ago, 8-9 days ago, which was in Christ Fellowship's what do you call their banquet center. And so the letter went out, and so people have been showing up. So I did call and asked, what is the intent? There will be people who will be at these meetings every single meeting at city council. They have also sent letters out to 4 different government agencies, and they're making sure that we're getting people involved, because it is going to take the community to save the community. And so let me be clear with this, because I don't want nobody speaking for Tonya Burns, because I will speak for myself. I have asked, with the question, because listen, let's take it back to when Liddell first stood up and wanted to nuck if you buck or whatever, when she was charging towards me, and then Eva twice. I have asked, well, where were they? Where were these groups? And I had met with some of them off, and I'm not saying off camera. I had met with them privately, over the past 2 years. So what I will not do, they are showing up now. The seventh groups, and it's not just the groups. You have independent residents. That meeting had independent residents who said, you know what, I need to get engaged. I know I'm going to get started. I want to be a part of the process. And there are people who are saying, you know what, I can no longer afford to sit at home and do nothing. So it is not to say to keep saying for myself, we're worthy, because we have all questioned that, including myself. They're here now. What can they do to move this forward? What is their process? What are they doing? One, they did assemble. And the meeting was not just for the 7 groups, it was for the entire community. So I want that to be straight. And there were people who just showed up who were residents who are not a part of these groups. These are just regular residents just showed up and saying, I want to be a part. We're going backwards in Flint. What can I do? So they did the meeting on Thursday. They sent out communications and emailed everyone that left information. They showed up to the first meeting that we had to speak. They showed up at the podium, which, we had, the special meeting, the finance meeting, the legislative and government operations were all adjourned because of lack of a quorum, because 4 council members did not show up. So they showed up. They'll be at the meeting on Monday. And there were residents there that had never been to a meeting before who were there. And so if it ignites, and it is igniting other people to come, that's serving the purpose so that people come to get involved. It's going to take the community to save the community. We shouldn't be harping on and staying on it. I'm not going to. Well, they didn't show up before. Okay, they did, and we acknowledge that. Certain groups didn't do it but people felt individually they should. What are we doing now? What are they doing now? You got to give them the opportunity. So, Mickey, like I said, this is going to be the shortest one I have ever did. And wherever you're from, and Mickey didn't put up anything on the screen. I do have to head out to 2 funerals. But Mickey, if it's anyone, wherever you from or logging in from, let me tell you that I appreciate your time. I appreciate you logging in. But I want you to click like, share, and subscribe so we can get out good information to the community. Time did not permit to get into a lot of different things, but everyone needs to watch that 15 minutes. And if you want I know that people don't like to plug other stuff. Go to city council meetings, and that one has the part that we don't have. Of course, we're going to share 810 first, but the other part you can get all of it. Those meetings went so quick, it wasn't even funny. It was terrible. You can hear everything on the other ones. You can hear Councilman Pfeiffer's response. You can hear everything that's on there. So, Mickey, any questions that are in there that you want to throw up that I can see, or? Because y'all, I don't see these questions. I can't operate all them devices.
No, that was basically the only one. That was basically okay. No, that was really, they just saying, condolences for you, what you going to the funeral and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So that's basically.
And thank you everyone for I truly appreciate that. If you are available, show up Monday, because I'm going to tell you, it changed. There were some people in that room who said, I will never sign a recall, and they signed. They signed. When it's different when you watching it on here than when you sitting in there. It's kind of like is this really happening? Do you think it's the same, Mickey, when you watching or when you there?
You know what? It could be both. It's like when you're there watching it, you can turn it off. When you're there, you sitting there,
and you get a lot of you seeing everything. But if you in Flint, you need to be there. And Flint is not unique. And I keep saying that. And we didn't get time to put up the other, some of the videos. But Flint has got some issues that we need to deal with.
Hold on, you got two real quick. This one what's on the agenda.
What's on agenda? Ask Ms. Burns, does she think that Liddell Lewis scared of the meeting that they had on December the 28th? That would be the Christ Fellowship meeting, right? Was that the date? I think that people, I'm going to say people are concerned that people are now finally to assemble and to organize, and they're organizing. And yes, it's a problem. I mean, if you got people saying, and they're still walking out and not showing up, I wouldn't want to be the person. I wouldn't want to be the president of Flint City Council who got a resolution to get $50,000, and then I'm breaking quorum and I'm walking out. I wouldn't want to be that person. But that is a very real person. Liddell Lewis is the president of Flint City Council. She has a resolution to receive $50,000. She's breaking quorum. She's walking out. She's trying to get absolute power over the council. And we even had a chance to get into the council rules. Them council rules is corrupt, y'all. They're corrupt. Can inspector and auditor generals get involved? I believe letter was sent to the attorney general. There was one, they have spoken to the ACLU. There's 4 organizations that they did speak to. So they're organizing. And that's what we have to do. People aren't just saying, oh, this is a shame anymore. People are writing a letter. They're contacting them. And there are several residents with this resolution does not get passed will file an injunctive order to get it passed, because they're disenfranchising their voting rights. The council is doing the majority of the council is doing it, because it's not me. Not me. They are disenfranchising all of the 7th Ward voters. Those 5 people by not showing up. Those 5 people are disenfranchising, and that's a violation of civil rights, the Voting Act. You can't do that. You can't do that. Any other questions?
I just see TMB said, trust me, the more people talk, the more she get angry.
But she seems numb when she's there, or is it just me?
And then what it said, it said the only thing TMB said, the only thing Liddell is scared of is people talking. That's why she's quick to call her henchman Metcalf. Well, we see he's out of there now.
Metcalf is gone. Metcalf, and this is the second time, y'all. Metcalf was told before he wasn't arresting people quick enough that when she tell him to arrest him, she act like a tyrant, a dictator. She wants you gone. She wants you gone out of there. So that's why Metcalf understands Robert's rules. And because he was saying, you have a right to an appeal, she wants you gone before you even get the appeal process. She's like, forget the appeal process. Tonya, can you explain the Flint property portal to verify their ward? Michelle, I really don't have time to get into that right now. Gotcha. But if you go to Flint property portal, put in the address, and this is going to be a quick one, it'll tell you which ward it is. Michelle, maybe I need to get clarity on really what you need from that. But that'll tell you which ward. But listen, your voter ID card tells you what ward you're in. Everyone was mailed a voter ID card, which tells you your ward. Everybody in Flint, if you're a registered voter, you were mailed a voter ID card. It tells you. It was a question. It was an answer.
It said, yeah, Mac, I'll put it back up. It says, did you see what Liddell posted about the 7th Ward vote?
Oh, God, no, I didn't.
I'm blocked too.
Listen, why am I rushing to it?
Okay. She said she wants to wait until August to make it fair.
How's she going to say fair when she got 50 grand on the line? No. See, they're trying to cover their behind. That's not her place. It's not her place, because she'll have her 50. Candace will have her 300,000, an extra 50. That's not their place. That is not her place to say that. That is not her place to do that. So she's trying to, what they're going to find themselves is in trouble, because 7th Ward residents having to turn an injunctive order will be filed. So that shows, look, somebody screenshot that. If y'all out there, y'all friends with her.
Angie Mack said she finna do it. She said, wait, I got y'all.
How's she going to decide what's fair? That ain't her place. The charter is clear. The charter. She ain't the God, the deity to make it. That's not her place. Okay. Having the election, I say having the election as soon as possible would have been in February. Having the election in May isn't in the best interest of 7 Ward opponents because they will only have until January 23rd to submit signatures. Listen, it don't take you that long to get 75 signatures. Thanks, Angie. Thank you. An August election would allow 7th Ward residents to gather their signatures or withdraw the name from candidacy until April as before. It is my desires to have a fair and timely election. No, it is her desire, in my opinion, to steal this election. Let's call it as it is, because she was the acting president. Her behind should have made sure that resolution was done last August, September, October, November, December. Liddell Lewis had a responsibility to make sure that resolution was sent up last year. What they thought was it was going to slip by. No. I'm not asleep at the wheel. Let's make sure that resolution is on there. And I'm going to keep making sure. You don't get to choose with the 7th Ward or any ward. Candace ain't ran no election. She was appointed. And now she ain't even showing up. So that shows you, Angie, thanks for sharing that. That tells you right there. And if she was halfway bright, she shouldn't have put that. Her intentions don't matter, which shows her intent to delay. So I'm going to make sure I send this to whoever attorney that it is, because it was the intent. The vice president should work with the clerk, with the city attorney, to make sure this had been sent and done. They had a responsibility to follow the charter underneath their oath. They didn't do it. They did not do it. I wouldn't have put, this was dumb to put up. I mean, it's 75 signatures is a street or two. You can't tell people what you think is fair. What should have been fair and right is for Liddell Lewis to make sure that resolution was done last August, September, October, November, or December. Liddell Lewis didn't do her job purposely. And when it finally got sent up, made sure that we are following the charter. Now she's concerned. No. You didn't do your job because y'all were trying to steal that seat. You were trying to steal that seat, which is what they were doing. Okay, Mickey, listen, if you on here, click like, share. I wish we had more time, Mickey. I got to get out the door.
For sure.
I want everybody to have a beautiful Saturday. For those who sent condolences to my family, thank you. My behind is running late, y'all. And I got the skedaddle. Love everyone. And listen, if I have offended anyone, because life is short, charge it to my mind, not to my heart. My heart is for the community. I don't have time for any of the silliness. I'm 55. I could care less about the silly stuff. It is, I guess, peace, love, and what's the other stuff, depending on who you're talking to. Peace,
hair
love,
and hair grease.
Peace, love, and edge jail. We're gonna do something that's gonna be real. So listen, Mickey, log it off. Y'all click like and share. And we're gonna come back on this Monday meeting. We need people to be there. Flint residents, and we need y'all to support also social media. We appreciate it. So wherever y'all at in the United States or wherever, thank y'all for y'all support. Thank you. You know, and continue to support us and share this, because Flint is no different than Jackson, Mississippi, than Benton Harbor, than they had issues in Pontiac or Portsmouth, Virginia, when she said, I'm tired as a, I've heard what she said, because you get tired. So Mickey, I'm out of here.
All right. Peace.
Log me out, Mick, and I'll holler at you later.
Okay.
Y'all have a good weekend.